What's up, YouTube? Today I'm gonna show y'all how to turn this into a medium drop fade, and you're gonna keep a man bun on top. First thing, always you gotta make it neat. Clean up the line. It's easier if you keep the line that separates the hair and the fade even. It's definitely gonna make a difference in the end of the haircut. Alright, like usual, in any bald fade, you start your bald line. Kinda turn the camera just a little too much, but it's okay, it won't happen again. And remember, make that line neat, as neat as possible. Now you can take your razor or your shavers, whichever one you prefer, and go ahead and finish off making that bald line real smooth. Next thing I'm gonna do is take my number 2 on my Masters, and I'm gonna close the lever about 1 notch from the top. On this client, I take it up about 1.5 to 2 inches because I don't want to stretch it too far, because I need a nice graduated blend. I like to call this a stretch fade. So after I finish cleaning that up here with the 2, I'm gonna go ahead and clip or over comb the top part just so it blends in really smooth. Nice graduated blend. I'll let you watch. On the bottom part of the fade, I'm going to go ahead and take my fast feeds and make another section about 3/4 of an inch. Go ahead and keep that clean all the way around. Try to keep all your lines clean, even. Go ahead and you start with your fade. I use the corner of my blade. Go ahead and lower the notch little by little, small increments, and each time you lower it, you're going to work closer to the bottom line of the section you're working on. I'll be right back once it's time for the next step. Alright, next what I do is I put my 1.5 on and I open it, and I do a lot of debulking in my haircuts, as you'll see. So what I do here is I just kind of go over what the number 2 did for the Masters and kind of just even that. You'll see some dark spots, some light spots, and we want to make sure that's nice and smooth. And I'll get to the top here and you'll see me kind of turn the clippers and hit it with just the edge. That's because we want to leave a little bit of, I would call it bulk towards the top, because that's where we're going to want the most of the contrast at. Okay, so for this step, I'm gonna go ahead and put my 1 on my walls. And I'm gonna come back under what I just did with my 1.5. I like to lighten it up, shade by shade, until it gets to where I can fade it out at the very bottom with my masters. So then the higher you go on this, the lighter you want to be on your touch, because you just kind of want to glide it off, create a nice blend. But just like any other part of the fade, the lower you take your lever, you're going to want to work closer to the bottom line of the section you're working on. This is fading from top to bottom. I find it easier to fade this way versus from bottom to top. We're getting closer now to the end of the fade, so what I'll do is take my masters and open them all the way. Then I start hitting that bottom line. Kind of a light touch, you don't want to be too hard. Kind of glide it off as you get to the part that you want in the fade. And you'll lower it slightly, maybe a notch or two, just to get that bottom line all the way blended out. Go ahead and let you finish watching this here, and then we'll come back on the next step, and it'll be minor detail stuff. Anything that you see that doesn't look flush, kind of want to go in there and hit it a little bit. So I'll be right back. Alright, so here we're just touching everything up, right? So we're gonna hit all the different little light spots, anything that doesn't blend in flush. And you want to remember that you also cut with your ears, just like you do your eyes. So when the hair is low like this, you might not think you're cutting it, but if you listen, you might just be able to hear it cuts just enough. I'm also going to follow those same steps with the number 2 and the number 1 to go over it, just to make sure everything is smooth and even. Now I'll go ahead and put my comb in and move that hair out of the way, because the number 2 guard has long teeth on it, and we don't want to catch none of that top hair in it, because then that could really destroy everything we've just done. I'm gonna let you guys finish watching here as I clean up the rest of this. Then we get started on the fun part of the haircut, the beard. Now this is my favorite part of the haircut. It's always been my favorite. So what I do is I go ahead and pick it out just to make sure that there's no knots, nothing. Make it easy for the clippers to cut through it without making it uneven. So what I'll do first is I go ahead and line the bottom, or bring it to the length that I want it, make it flat on the bottom. And then I'm going to go ahead and try to contour the beard with the widest part of the face, which is going to be the cheekbone. And try to make nothing stick out further than that cheekbone, kind of freehand it the same way you would do a afro or a box or anything like that. You know, definitely got to go ahead and fade that top part of the beard out. Leave it open. That's kind of freehand also, but as you get towards the top where it's blending in with the bald part of the fade, you're definitely gonna lower the lever a little bit, and just try to make it real neat and real smooth. Clean up that neck part there, right between the ear and the beard. You don't want to take that in too far though. Try to leave it natural. After you get that done, you're gonna go look at the mustache. What I do is I take my clippers and I kind of just follow the lip line. With a big beard like that, you don't want to take it too far up because then it tends to look weird. And that long part on the mustache on the side, you want to ask them before you cut it off first, because some people like to twirl and flip it up. Now to start the top line of the beard, I'm going to take my edges and place my line near to where I want it to be once I hit it with the razor. But I'm going to keep that line just a little bit higher, so when I come back with my razor, I can take off just a little bit more and give it that real crisp line. It's always important first also to ask your client where he wants the line at. Most of the time they'll just tell you, you're the professional, you go ahead and take care of it. Alright, so on the edge up on this type of hair, you definitely want to pull down that front part, the baby hairs. And I spray spritz on it because it helps hold the hair in place so it don't move when I start hitting it with the edgers. Create your line right in the middle, and then you're going to bring both sides to that line. And of course, try not to push the sides back. Especially if somebody has a bigger forehead, you want to try to keep it as natural as possible so you don't make their forehead look bigger than it is. One last time, I'm going to go over the front hairs right there just to make sure nothing is sticking out. You know, make sure it lays down smoothly. So I'll come with my one, go with the grain, then I'll take it off, and then I'm going to freehand it just to get any of the little hairs that are sticking out. So there it is, guys. Took that, turned it into that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all learned something. Until next time, guys.